Okay, so the easiest way that I can describe this is um addressing unsportsmanlike behaviors on the field in professional sports. Does that make sense to you, Belle?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Yes, perfect. So, you, you guys are gonna be listening to this slash watching this after the Super Bowl. We are already gonna know like who's won. Um, just for transparency, I'm a Chiefs fan. Belle was like fighting for her life during the AFC Championship game because it was the Chiefs and the Ravens, and those are her teams. Um, Belle, can you talk a little bit about your love for those teams and your obsession?
Yeah, I've been a lifelong Chiefs and Ravens fan since I can remember. And that's just my family is split half and half. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody who likes to be a hater can be a hater somewhere else. But yeah, so the last time that it had ever happened of the two teams was in like 2011. So it has never been the two of them versus each other since then. Um, but yeah, it was hard because I mean, obviously, I'm gonna pull for my hometown team, but I do believe the Ravens deserved it better and deserved it more, which made it hurt more that they didn't win. I never thought I could be fatigued from winning. But I was, and I was like, this must be how Pats fans like had to eventually feel, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so I watch every game every weekend whenever they play, as many as I can get at least. And I just love them. They're amazing. I love both teams. They're so good.
Um, I think during the AFC Championship game, both teams played um well, and they, obviously you do your best, that sort of thing. But I
Yeah.
feel like there were some emotions thrown out on the field and taken out on each other that I don't think were appropriate, especially if you are grown men playing professional sports. Um, I'm sorry, what does that say about your sportsmanship? What does that say about your attitude towards other teams? I I get what you're saying about like Pats fans whenever, they were just constantly winning and constantly going to the Super Bowl and that sort of thing. Like I remember being pissed like that it was always the Patriots going to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. And, you know, I get it. My dad says this thing like, you guys are lucky you get to see the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl this many times and blah, 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 blah. Back in my day, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But I think we need a little bit of a reality check. We have an amazing team. We do. We have a great lineup. All of these players are really talented. We did such a good job in choosing the chemistry that was going to be out on the field. And, same could go with any other team. But when I see that you make it to the AFC championships, and I could not be like, this is nothing against the Ravens and nothing against the Chiefs, but when I see that you make it to a championship game, and I'm sorry, but you're cutting your hand because you hit the bench, that's on you. That's you being
Yeah.
a baby. So anyway, I don't know if you have any more comments to say.
Well, I was gonna say, like, in tune with the Chiefs winning, like all the time. Somebody tweeted the other day, hold up, Swifties are cooking lately with a screenshot that was like, I know I'm not very in tune with American football, but I keep seeing people say the Chiefs had their moment last year. We need other teams at the Super Bowl. Then why don't the other teams do better so they can have their moment? The fuck? Which is very true.
Yeah.
Um, Whatever, if you want to believe in the conspiracy that there is a script or not. Obviously the script didn't run true this year because y'all thought it was gonna be the Ravens and 49ers, and that's just not what happened.
Yeah.
Um, and but that's very true. I think that We had our ups and downs throughout the season,
Oh, of course.
and we were wanting it more because there were a lot more doubters, including myself. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
well, we're going back to what we've always known, and I can't be upset because we've won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime, and that's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then for them to come back and be in the Super Bowl is huge. And I think that Travis kind of said it best that they had something to prove, they had more to prove, and that meant that they were playing harder. And Patrick also said, like in his post-game interview, like um Travis shines brighter under bigger lights, and that's the that is what is it called? That is the true mark of a champion.
Hmm.
And I think that's true. I think that, when you get to a game that big, emotions run high,
Oh, yeah.
and it's about how you play. And if you choose to take the opportunity for granted, then yeah, you're going to lose. And I think that that's what we saw from the Ravens. Take away Lamar, Tucker, and Odell, everybody else, but on the team, not coaching staff.
Oh, good.
So I am very disappointed with Zay Flowers' behavior, but you can comment on how you felt as a Chiefs fan, and I can comment how I felt.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think that's fair. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, when I get I kind of watched like a good amount of it. I was actually driving back from Kansas City to Columbia, and I was like listening to it as I was like driving and stuff. Like I had it up on Paramount and was just kind of mounted on my car, and I was just like driving, and then I would like glance and be like, oh my gosh, touchdown, or oh, that was a bad play, When L'Jarius Sneed went and swatted that touchdown pass from Flowers' hand, like the frustration that he felt, I get it. I understand it. And that was really a close one. I'm not gonna lie. Like if, that was a touchdown that, the Ravens made, then I think that would have like if that was a good play,
Mhm.
then the Ravens would have I think they would have won after that. But
Yeah.
um I understand being frustrated and letting your team down and blah 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 blah. But the taunting and the helmet butting and that sort of thing, like you can talk a big game, but you can't get mad based on outcomes. And what I thought was particularly ridiculous, and that I keep bringing up anyway, is that, you know, he injured himself, keyword himself, um, because a play didn't go right. You I'm sorry, you can't always control the kinetics of the game, especially when you're sitting on the sidelines. I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
But again, you're a grown man. And this is a big moment, honestly. Like them making it to the AFC Championship, big moment. And I honestly would take that as a win, you know, and maybe even some inspiration to do better next year. That's probably all I have to say. Now, I can't speak on or speak for the Chiefs at all. I feel like there also might have been some refs favoring towards the Chiefs based off of some of the calls that I've seen and stuff. But I mean, they weren't perfect either. And I don't know, I understand the frustration, but we're like up here, we need to be kind of like right here, just kind of, rounding out. Anyway, go ahead.
Um, well, I think like Zay brought that upon himself. That was ridiculous. To shove somebody back down and then like laugh in their face. And then you fucked up. So it didn't really matter anyways. And something though too that I looked up during the game is Zay is only 23. So I'm going to give him grace because he's a kid. He is not 31 like Odell. He is not 27 like Lamar. And so I think that unfortunately, because Zay is so young, there's just a lot for him to learn. And I think that that's something that the Chiefs have done well, is to keep veterans around who are leaders in the room,
Mhm.
which is why we struggled so much the first few weeks without Chris Jones in the locker room. I'm a firm believer that he is the reason that the line stays together. And when he's not there, you saw it. You immediately saw how trash the line was without
Mhm.
Chris there. And so I think that and Zay also like fumbling. I don't know. I'd rather you just get to the 1 yard line and try again.
Right.
Instead, you're like launching yourself. You're bound to have that happen. But I don't think that that can define Zay. And I think that it's just really unfortunate that he is still a kid and learning, and it's disgusting and it's ridiculous because why? But also, I think that something that the Chiefs did well throughout the game, not that I'm proud of, but did well, was their taunting incited a reaction. So they didn't taunt. It was just like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you, to where the Ravens like got pissed off and reacted. And I do think that's because there's no veterans in the room.
Mhm.
Now, I will say, I think that I disagree with Travis, because I was reading through the tweets yesterday and today after the New Heights podcast came out about how he moved Tucker's helmet and punt and ball and all of that, and was like, why the fuck was Tucker on our side? Butker was on the Ravens side. So uh, after seeing that, I disagree with the reaction from Travis. I get
Yeah.
it, but I also think that Butker was on the Ravens side kicking, and Justin apparently always kicks on the opposing team's like warm up side. That's
Mhm.
what he's always done, whether he's doing that to get at you, which he did get at Travis successfully or not. Um, it still stands that Butker was on the other side, and I think that that was just ridiculous. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Um, I mean, so overall, like, could the game have gone better? Absolutely. I just think it was those minor things that probably would have made it, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, but
I
I
will
mean,
say though, on my comment on veterans, that does not go for Draymond Green at all. At all. As a Golden State fan, I will go on record and say that Draymond Green's actions are not excusable.
good
And
night
so
to everyone except Draymond Green.
that veteran statement does not go for that.
Yeah.
But I am really sad though that the Lions didn't make it.
Hmm.
I believe in a Cinderella story. And that was just really sad because how were you up 24-0 and you blew the entire game?
That's what my dad said. My dad was like, I really just wish that we would play the Lions in the Super Bowl because we lost to them earlier on in the season and
Yeah.
just kind of wanted to get redemption. And I was like, okay.
But I'd still feel better if the Lions beat us versus the 49. The 49ers have nothing to prove.
Yeah.
That's except you guys want to like act like Brock Purdy is something. All they
Hmm.
got is Kristen and her cute designs. So that's it.
What do you think about that?
I love it. She just got an NFL deal that
No.
she can use their merchandise in her stuff. So
Yeah, I saw
no,
that.
I love that for her, and I love her husband hyping her up. Those are the only people I support on the 49ers, maybe the Kittles, but
Hmm.
um Yeah, I do feel for Lions fans, but I do believe that they can come back.
Right.
Um,
I mean, you
and
made
that
it
they
this
will get
far this
back.
season. There's only more improvement from here. That's it.
Yeah. And the Ravens, I don't know, I have no comment on that right now. Um, but which I'm really sad. So the Ravens released their schedule already because obviously their season's done for next year.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping that the Baltimore Kansas City game was going to be in Baltimore because I've never gone to a Baltimore game in Baltimore. And of course it's in Kansas City. So I will be back this fall for the Chiefs and Ravens game, period.
Yes.
And maybe I'll pull a Donna Kelsey and actually have a split jersey
But yep,
action.
yep. You might have
Yeah.
to, dude. You might have to get one custom made.
Yeah. No, I
That'd
would
be
do
so
that.
cool.
Yeah. I'd be like, slay, look at me, everyone. For unsportsmanlike conduct.
Mhm.
How many do you think there should be before you were to get kicked out of a game, a match, whatever? Because in basketball, it is a lot easier to get ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct than it is
Yeah.
in football
See, here's
or
the
even baseball.
right. Here's the difference between like football is more of a rough game than baseball and
Yeah.
basketball. Like baseball, basketball, well, basketball's more contact, but football is like in terms of contact sports, like up there, you know?
Yeah.
But
CTE.
yeah. So I would say if it's on purpose, like one, two, three strikes, you're out. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, should it happen at all? Absolutely not. But also I think if there is unsportsmanlike conduct like going on the field or even like taunting off the field, I feel like it should be respectful, but also at the same time if it's distracting like not I guess
Mhm.
other players on your team or um if
Also,
it's
can we fire Taylor? This man has the most penalties in the entire league. Okay, but
yes,
continue.
yes,
I
no,
just
I was
thought
gonna
about
say
that.
like I feel like the coaches should step in. Like I know if that was our team oh my God, if that was our team doing that, Andy Reid would be like, knock it off. And they
I
would
mean,
be
you
like,
saw him when Travis threw his helmet. He
yeah,
told Travis to put his
exactly.
big buttons on. Move
So
on.
anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
What about you? How many?
I say two.
Two?
Yeah.
That's
Because
fair.
obviously you have a problem if you're getting more than one unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's fair.
And also I feel like unsportsmanlike conduct can range from what it is.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, is that roughing the passer after? Is that taunting? But I do think there should be a certain, just like a foul in basketball. Why does Taylor have so many penalties and he is still playing? That man is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because I think that there should be more. I mean, yeah, you can get fined after a game. Please, these guys make six, seven, eight, nine, 10 figures a year. A little petty fine isn't anything, and I'm sure it can be written off in their taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, that's fair. For reference, I feel like I need to put this in here. Belle is more of a football fanatic than I am. Like, to be honest, I just got into football and understanding football like the past few years. And so it's like little by little, like I shit you not, I just learned what a parlay was like a few weeks ago. And I know that has something to do with sports betting, but still, I also
it's
just learned
okay because we can't do it. We can't do it here, so
we
it's
can't
okay.
do it in Missouri, but like it's funny. Like if I wanted to go up to my boyfriend and be like, "Yeah, you need to pull a parlay on the Chiefs, have Patrick Mahomes doing this, Kelsey scoring a touchdown, blah 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 blah." He's gonna look at me and be like, "Somebody, somebody's ate,
Somebody cooked here.
somebody cooked here."
You could just say it was me.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
Belle and I this past year did
We didn't even do it
we didn't
though.
even do it, but it was like we did like what brackets.
Yeah.
We didn't
We did fantasy,
we
but
did
we
fantasy, but we like
stopped after like week 2.
no, it was week 7. I'd say it was week 7. We were like we were texting each other and we were like, "Yeah, you're winning," or whatever. But we did fantasy and we were like doing okay with it. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to learn and Leah just needs to keep up with all the things that she wants to do. So
It's hard too if you're not watching the other games. That's something that I'm not committed to. No.
anyway, so we're gonna wrap it up there. Hopefully this reaches the right audience. I know we're just two girls talking about football and we have no rights, blah 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 blah. Whatever. Um,
Yes, I have no right. Absolutely no right. Correct. You
all the
guys are
sports articles,
all you men are correct.
women in sports. Anyway, so if you have any comments on unsportsmanlike conduct, how many penalties you think a player should receive on the field before they get like jetted, um, or anything like that, please, comment down below. Send us any of your recommendations or any of you, I don't know, your opinions, whatever. We'd love to hear from you. But until next time.
Cheers.